Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm so grateful that you have decided to click on my podcast. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you are listening to me, and I'm so appreciative, you guys. So, today's episode is extremely important because I feel like it's something we've all have gone through, especially in our adolescence. Okay, we're talking about rejection. Rejection. Rejection can be a reason why a lot of people go towards tarot. Me personally, I became interested in tarot after a heartbreak. Okay, it was an escape and it gave me some sort of additional comfort and kind of validated my suspicions, my beliefs. A lot of times dealing with rejection, you never really get those answers that you want. And this could be from a job, from a person, usually like if a job denies you in an interview or something like that, you never really get that detailed explanation why. Um, I know I've asked a few times after my interview, I may like send an email like, hey, what can I do to improve? And you never really get a real answer. It's a funny thing. I think people, even though they may reject you, it's like they still want to be viewed as the nice person in a way. No one wants to be the bad guy, nobody wants to feel like they're the bad guy. So usually when you are dealing with rejection, you don't get a lot of information why you're being rejected. Or denied access of whatever it is that you're looking for. So when people don't get those answers, sometimes we can start to question ourselves when it comes to a rejection. We start to think about, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? Am I not good enough? These are all questions that come up in all of our heads when we feel like we've been rejected on some level. And I guess it's pretty natural to feel that way, to question yourself initially. But I think ultimately, Spirit really wants us to have our self-esteem built up so strong that nobody in your external environment, whether you get their acceptance or rejection, nobody can, determine that for you. God doesn't want people to. And yes, you guys, I know this is a podcast about tarot, spirituality. I talk about God. I'm a believer of God. I grew up a Christian, but I'm not too religious. I just never really liked church that much, or the politics that went within church. But I've always been connected to God, and I do believe like there's just great examples in how to deal with everyday life in the teachings of, the Bible, Christ, God, whoever you believe in. If you look outside yourself for spiritual support when it comes to these difficult situations of feeling low, of feeling undesirable, you will find the answers that you need to kind of lift you up. Okay. Now, I personally have been able to deal with rejection a lot better, I feel like, than what I have dealt with it in my younger years. Only reason being is that every single time that I've been rejected in my past, looking back in hindsight, the situation always turned out in my favor. I've already talked about my move to California and how it completely changed my life, but right before I moved to California, I was fired. It was the first time I was ever fired. I guess you can call it quote unquote laid off. Because it wasn't just me. It was like a few people, I guess, in our department. But still, it really took a blow to my ego. I thought I was really valuable there for a reason. I don't know why. And I felt really bad about that right before I moved to California. And then I also got dumped by the boyfriend I was with. So ultimately, all of those things helped me make that move to California, which just leveled up my life completely. All right. Started making more money, being happier, the best I've ever looked, physically fit. I lost about 30 pounds. I was in the best shape of my life. My life just completely changed and went in the right direction after I had been quote unquote rejected. So I try to look back on moments like that in my life where it worked out fine for me, even when I didn't think it would, So those moments provide me a little bit of solace, a little bit of comfort when I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling like I'm not good enough. And it's not a one and done type of thing. If you're interested in finishing this episode, you can find the link to the full podcast in the description box below.